we got retail. You said 4 units?
Yeah, 4 units, yep.
Okay, cool. Do we know square footage?
Okay.
This is just for all of us to quickly learn the back of the napkin version of underwriting.
Square footage I don't have. I have total monthly rent.
Okay, I need you to get me the square footage for me. If it's a retail building, we need to know square footage. But
Okay.
real quick, give me the, you said you have rent, gross rent?
Yeah, gross rent for it's 91,500 for the year.
91?
91,500.
All right, just say 91K. That's fine.
You want total expenses for the whole year?
Sure.
31,990.
Okay, hold on a second. Say 32, around there again. Okay, cool.
Okay, and that's what I have there.
I need you to give me square footage. If it's a retail property, we're going to need square footage. If it's retail or industrial, you need square footage to do the math. By the way, if you guys have deals, make sure you have all this information prepared when we ask. It's okay, you're first in line. It's okay.
Okay, 5,100 square feet.
Okay, great. Square feet, 5,100. Okay, cool. Let's do back of the napkin math, okay? In this market, real quick, Austin. Okay, we got a retail building for everybody here again. Retail, 4 units. Gross rent is 91,000. Expenses are 32,000. This is confirmed by the owner. I'm sure that's in taxes, insurance, utilities, common area maintenance, yada yada. Cool. Now let's do some back of the napkin math. Austin, where do you believe this market? Because this is going to be a random market for everybody else. What do you believe market value is for price per square foot in this area? Market value, if you listed it.
I don't know. It's a good question.
Okay, cool. We're going to figure that all out. That's not a problem. Do you know market rents in this area?
No, not off the top of my head.
Okay, cool. No, this is good. By the way, guys, this is good because if you don't know it, it's fine. I want us to start from reality of where we're at. That's totally fine. Yeah. We're going to figure these few things out. And by the way, there's lots of markets that I don't know these answers to either. It's totally okay. So I'm going to show you exactly how you're going to find it, but you need to have the tools to do this. First things I'm looking at, back of the napkin math. I have 91,000 for 5,100 feet. What do you do here with this ratio? What do we want to look at?
Divide it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I agree. Let's figure out what our average price, rent per square foot is. Okay, so we're gonna do some back of the napkin numbers. So let's take 91,000 divided by 5,100. What do you get?
17.8.
Okay, cool. So by the way, 91,000, right, dollars divided by 5,100 square feet, and you get what?
17.84.
17.84, and this is rent, right? So this is per foot. Okay, so we're getting rents. This is gross rents, by the way, guys. Right, this is not triple net, very different. So you got gross rents of $17.84. I mean, just what is this market again? Which market?
Venice, Florida.
Venice, Florida. Okay, cool. Venice, Florida. Honestly, this isn't terrible, but I think the market here, this is just my guess, is probably going to be in the mid-teens triple net. Retail is very commonly triple net. By the way, all I'm going to do really quick, back in the napkin, I'm showing you how to do this for any deal, right? All you're going to do is you bring up your handy-dandy CoStar. You're going to type in Venice, Florida, Venice City, Florida. Okay, that's all I'm doing on my CoStar. I didn't do anything searching yet, okay? I'm actually going to clear out all my filters because there were some extra things here. We're going to go to lease comps, retail. Last thing, all we're going to do is we're going to do lease comps, and we're going to make sure we click on retail. And we're going to do sign date, last 12 months. We have 18 different lease comps. And then because this is so small, we're going to make sure that the only thing I'm also going to change on here is area leased. The maximum is going to be 6,000 feet. That's all I'm doing. So I got 16 lease options to look at. And all within the last 12 months. I'm just going to quickly rattle these all off. 16 modified gross, 24 modified gross, 35 triple net. That's crazy. 35 triple net again. Okay. 30 triple net. 18 triple net, nothing. These aren't coming up. Okay, next one is $20 to $24 gross. Next one, 28 triple net, 20 to 25 gross. I just rattled off every single one of them. Now here's the thing. What do you think the location wise for this property? What's your quality of location here?
Downtown Venice, so BA location.
Okay, great. Okay, so we're going to err on a little bit higher side. Okay, by the way, so we can see here, I just went through every single lease comp in that market. It took me 5 seconds to look it up, all right? I just look up the town. I can do a little radius search around our property, right? Again, I'm doing this without even having an address, by the way, guys. I just want to show you, you don't even need to have an address to quickly get a gauge of the value. This right now, again, this is a gross rent right now, 1784 gross. We just noticed by doing our research that rents are actually substantially more than this, right? It's probably at a minimum 18 triple net, might be as high as mid-20s triple net. So is there some upside in this deal? 100% there is, okay? Yeah. Now, does it mean that the value of, remember, there's value upside. There is upside in this deal, but doesn't mean that today's value is infinitely higher because, we have some amazing upside, right? Of course, that's a pro, but it doesn't mean I get to pay infinitely more money right now. We can run the numbers and we'll see, but I just want you to understand, too many people go like, oh, this is an amazing value add, so I'm going to pay a 4 cap for this. Now, look, I'm not saying like some people might do that. On the right occasions, I might even do that. But I want to show you there's a difference of what is actual current value today versus what is future value. And just because, like, as an example of this deal, let's say all day long, it was on Lincoln Road in Miami Beach, Florida, or in the Design District in Miami, which is like $100+ triple net rents, crazy high demand. Okay, so if there was something like that, of course, like because right now today, because there's two different numbers. Remember, guys, like there's two different numbers. You have current, which we're gonna figure out in a second, current value. Then you have pro forma, right? You have pro forma value. So you have these two different values. You have current and you have pro forma. And by knowing these two different things, it'll let us know how much more we can pay for current. Because like current, we're going to figure out by doing back to the napkin. So it's like 91,000. What's let's say 35% expense ratio here. So 91 times 0.65. What is that? By the way, guys, if you guys want to run some numbers quickly, we're about to give some values. Give me your current estimation of value. Give me your pro forma estimation of value. This is what current rent is. This is gross. We just ran numbers and pro forma rent real quick. Pro forma rent. Okay, we could just go off of probably 20 triple net. Okay, 18 to 20 triple net conservatively. So what? Give me what would you come up with, Austin?
65% is 59,000.
59 NOI. Great. Okay, so 59 NOI. I'm just gonna write this down here. So based off of this, like again, I don't give a shit what they tell you what the expenses are. I don't care what they are. I don't care what they think they are. Right. So 35% expenses gives us a 50 what? 59.
Yeah, 59,000.
Okay, cool. 59 NOI. 59K. I don't know. It's all blended together. 59K NOI. What would we actually evaluate this deal at a 59K NOI? 5,100 square feet. What are we thinking?
900 grand, 850.
Okay, cool. How are you coming up with that?
About 7 cap.
About a 7 cap. What does everyone else want to say this is worth? Okay, cool. Again, Austin's guessing right now 850 to 900 current value. 850 to 900 current value. Again, square footage on this deal is 5,100 feet. Current rent gives you an NOI of $59,000, $60,000 roughly. What are we saying current values are? He's saying 850 to 900. Who wants to come off mute? You can drop it in the chat box down below. What do we got? What would you start her off for this deal at? We got current value, and obviously, basically, because remember, like there are three numbers, right? There's current value, what we think we could sell it for all day long. There's the pro forma value, and then of course there's the last number, which is our starter. Because we have current value, what I think I can sell it for right now. Pro forma value, what I think the future value will be, and then my starter offer. What should I offer given the information I have? That's it. That's all we're trying to find. Gabe says 730. Chelsea is saying 737. By the way, Gabe and Chelsea, I just want to make sure this is current value, correct? Just want to make sure we're all looking at this. This is not a starter offer. Current value, that's what we're going off of. What we think we sell it for. This market right now, by the way, the only other thing I'm going to check on is that we just did lease comps. I'm going to do some sale comps real quick just to see where price per square foot is sitting at. Again, all I'm doing is the same exact thing we did for lease comps, but I'm doing it for sale. So I literally just do Venice, Florida. I go to retail. I go to sale date, last 12 months, and then I'm just going to click on this. View properties, and I see here. Let's see, we got 211, we got 173, we got 172, we got 115, 150, 176, 271, 147. Looks like to me it's very mid to high hundreds in regards to value. Mid to high hundreds when it comes to value, mid to low 200s, right, at the most. So I'm looking at, mid to low 200s, for all of the comps, right, sale comps, price per square foot for retail. Current values, again, I have Gabe 730, Chelsea saying 737. Does anybody else want to say what they believe it to be worth for current value?
I agree with 850. I would do a starter offer of like 700. 850 current value.
Current value 850, starter offer
700.
700. Cool. All right, awesome. Anybody else want to take a guess before we start, plugging in some numbers? And we're going to keep going to different deals. That's all we're going to do. We're going to keep ripping. This is the back of the napkin type of quick, fast underwriting you need to understand here. Because when you can learn this, you stop wasting time with crap deals. You start spending time with good deals. Okay, cool. So current value said 850, 900. Basically, the way I'm looking at this is like, okay, what I care more about is I care more about price per square foot because that gives me basis. So I want to look at two things, right? Two things are very important. Number one, I want to be north of a 7 cap right now because of interest rates. I want to be north of a 7 cap. I want to make sure my price per square foot is about market. Okay. So if I think that market, let's just say, is like a 170, maybe 175. 175 times 5,100 gives me 892. Okay, I'm just doing quick numbers. And then I have a 59,000 NOI divided into a 7.5 cap. That gives me 786. So I'm probably going to want to be closer to my cap rate than I am my price per square foot, but I wanted to make sure my cap rate is below my price per square foot. All right, that's my checkbox. I want to make sure it's somewhere in that range. Very quickly, I think we all can agree we can probably sell this deal somewhere around $800,000 almost no matter what. That is what I'm thinking in my mind. I could probably sell this deal. All of us together could probably sell this deal for 800 G's no matter what. So my current value is 800 here, okay? This is quick back in the napkin. This doesn't have to be, this is not exact sciences, but back of the napkin, and I want it to be somewhat conservative. If I think I can sell for 800 all day long and twice on Sunday, what should our starter offer be? Sagi said 700. Chelsea said 737. Gabe said 730. Does anybody want to give me a starter offer? We believe that the current value all day long, we can sell this deal something around the 800 range, pretty conservatively, almost no matter what. We're pretty confident there. Might be a little north, maybe a little south, somewhere in that range. What's our starter offer? Okay, 700. Cool. Now, here's the thing. I just want you guys to be thinking about this. We're going to go to Performa now, okay? Be thinking about, though, about your starter offer, and we're going to see if that changes based off of your Performa, okay? So now, we know, Austin, that all the property values are between the mid to high hundreds and, mid to very low 200s. This thing's not selling for $1.5 million no matter what, right? Just not happening. It's not selling for 300 a foot. So if we know that to be true, because there's literally zero comps in that range whatsoever, okay? Let's take triple net income, maximum income, $20 triple net, like we wrote down here, okay? $20 triple net times what?
5,100 square feet.
Cool, exactly. I agree. What do you get?
102.
102, cool. So our future Performa, okay? So let's go to Performa again here. Performa rent, Performa NOI, I meant to say. Performa NOI is 102. Now, Performa NOI, by the way, that's triple net, and that does not include, okay, this is just quick back, like I guess, this is called base rent, because this is missing some expenses. Just because it's triple net doesn't mean it's zero expenses. It means there's less expenses. Even though it's all triple net, tenants are paying taxes, insurance, common area maintenance, tax, and utilities. What expenses do we still have as a landlord that we have to calculate? You have two main ones.
Parking maintenance.
Okay, hold on. So maintenance is kind of subjective. Okay, maintenance to me is like one of those things where every lease is going to be slightly different. But like you might have to do the roof. You might have to do the parking lot. Right, I agree with you. You might have to do the HVAC system, right? So I agree, right? So that's I have two main ones, and then there's the subjective one, which is the maintenance one. Okay, but I'm going to make sure we include it. Chelsea's trying to help you out in the chat, by the way. But what are the other two?
Oh, okay. Management fee, capex.
Yeah, I call it V and M. Vacancy. We still have the vacancy rate, and management. 5% and 5%. 5% minimum. And then you're going to have some maintenance costs, right? You're going to have some maintenance costs. Whether you're responsible for the HVAC or the parking, like you said, or the roof, you're going to have something. We have to add the V, the M, and an M, okay? Which is 15% minimum, okay? So now you're going to take your 102 and you're going to subtract off 15%. So what do you get? Anyway, back of the napkin, conservative numbers. This is like the quick. And by the way, if you have questions about this back of the napkin stuff, drop it in the chat box. I want to make sure everyone's good.
Call it 85,000. It's really
86. That's fine. 85K. So 85 NOI. That's our true NOI. Now take your 85K divided into 7%. What do you get?
1.2.
1.2. Amazing. Now watch this. We have 1.2 million. Real quick, I'm going to do a slash because now I want you to confirm it. What's 1.2 million divided by 5,100?
238.
238. Okay. Do you think 238 is reasonable in this market based on everything I just talked about? It's not unreasonable. I just want to make sure you believe it's not unreasonable.
It's not too far off. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Right, like guys, by the way, not exact science, but I agree with you. It's not super far off because what I care more about Performa is that not that if you and I were buying this deal, I'd be way more conservative about it. Okay, I'm selling this deal, right? Like this guy, like I'm guessing, by the way, based on all these numbers, this guy wants $1 million.
He wants 1.2. I got a verbal for
north of $1 million. Okay, cool. I understand. Right, so he wants like a 5 cap because net operating income's like 60 grand. He wants 1.2. It's like a 5 cap. So look, you and I are doing the quick back to the napkin math. Again, I'm just going to put a check mark here. I don't think it's super unreasonable, and I think a bank might evaluate it close to the 1.2 range. A bank, not a buyer. A bank would probably do that 7 cap. Again, it's not astronomically priced. It's not like this comes out to, if this was like 400 a foot based on our data, that'd be stupid. Based on these numbers, what do you think now you should do? What do you think based on your starter offer? Where do you think you need to be?
At current value.
Okay, so expand on what you're saying. I just want to make sure I understand.
I was saying on current just because of the upside and the pro forma.
Okay, got it. So no, this is why I say pause with your starter offers, guys. Because you originally told me you're going to do what, 700, 650?
700.
Yeah, 700. You said 700. Now you want to offer 800. Now here's the thing, though. I want to be very, very clear. Performa is 1.2. We believe the future value is 1.2 million. Current value is still 800. Current value, I want you to be very careful. If Performa here, by the way, was like 2 million, I would pay more than current. If Performa is high enough and clear enough, like if hypothetically everything in this market was renting for, let's say, $30 a foot triple net, everything was $30 a foot triple net. It is in a Class A market, unbelievable market all day long, and twice on Tuesday is it going to be rented for $30 a foot triple net. I would be more inclined to pay more than current value because as an investor, I'm like, the odds of me making money on this deal is just dumb. I'm buying it for what is that a foot? I mean, 140 a foot. I'm buying it for 140 a foot, and it'll be worth 300 a foot. Here, it's close because think about it, guys. Here's the careful thing you have to look at. Last thing we're going to check on, and then we're going to go to our next deal. What's one thing we didn't calculate yet? Again, this is back in the napkin numbers, so we're going quick.
How long the leases are?
Okay, one. Cool. What else did we not calculate?
Debt service.
We don't need to worry about debt service for this calculation. Okay. John's getting it. John just put it in the chat.
Oh, CapEx. Yeah.
CapEx. Yes, exactly, John. CapEx. How much is it going to cost me to get here? Because if Austin, hypothetically, if it costs me, let's just say that, everything's rented right now, because that's what it shows, okay? But let's just say the roof is shot.
Yeah.
The parking lot is shot. The HVAC systems are shot. They all need to be replaced. Budget for those three things is $300,000. Does your starter offer change? Damn right it does. I agree 100%. Does my current offer change? My current value changes. Yes, agreed. Everything changes. So that's why we need to know that. That's another key point. So when you're asking for information, when you're asking like a seller for more information, you want to clarify. When was the roof last replaced? When was the HVAC system last replaced? What were the repairs that you've made within the last 5 years? I want to know these things so I can clearly understand my Performa, because it might be Performa subtract off two things. You want to subtract off your profit margin, and then you also want to subtract off your CapEx budget. You can't expect it to be zero, by the way. It is never a zero. It might be $50,000. In some cases, it might be $500,000. I just dealt with a property where there's major groundwater contamination. It might be $1 million. Do we know what you're going to make an offer on this property for? I want to make sure that you're clear before we leave.
Yes, once I know the CapEx, yeah.
Cool. Get your CapEx, then you're going to subtract it off, and then minus your profit, right?
Yep.
So again, like if you want to make, let's say, because right now it looks like you're going to make $400,000. You're not going to make fucking $400,000 because you also have closing costs. You're going to pay $25,000 to $30,000 minimum on this in closing costs, and on this one you're going to pay another $50,000 in closing costs minimum.
Yep.
So your margin's only maybe $300,000 between these, and if your CapEx even $100,000, okay, because it's not nothing. No matter what, it's $50,000. No matter what, it's going to be $50,000. If no matter what, it's 50, you're right now starting at $150,000. $150 in expenses between the purchase, the closing costs for both, plus the CapEx budget to get here. So that's $150,000. You got $250,000 left in profit. And if you're going to put up for an $800,000 purchase, by the way, you got to put down 35% to buy it, right? 30% to buy it. You're spending 250 plus closing costs, $300,000 to only make $250,000. It's not exactly a high upside deal.
Right.
Okay.